What it do, YouTube? Man, I'm feeling good today. Today we're gonna react to NBA YoungBoy, more NBA YoungBoy, and up to date of what's going on and how he doing in court and how he finna get out. So we finna react to motherfucking his name Bruce. He's a lawyer. One of the top. I guess he one of the top lawyers like to have like far as dealing with any criminal. So y'all make sure if y'all going through anything, y'all contact him because he'll get you out them jams, and I guess he willing to like help motherfuckers out. So basically, I think he just breaking down his NBA YoungBoy arrest, and yeah, so we finna react to this. But before we react to this video, make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure that y'all hit that like subscribe button. Cause I'm tuning in for more, But I'm not gonna hold y'all any longer. Let's get right to the video. Let's get it.
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Yeah, he a good lawyer. I can already tell.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. And today we're just going to give you a case update. Going to give you a little bit of an update on the George Floyd situation. And we're going to talk a little bit about NBA YoungBoy. And Mr. YoungBoy, or otherwise known as Kentrell Golden, was picked up in Los Angeles for weapons violations and out of an arrest and charges that stem from an incident that happened in September of 2020. He and about 15 others were picked up for weapons possession and some other charges. And the reason they got picked up is because some of the guns that they were using were stolen, and he has a felon in possession charge. What happened was he was in Los Angeles, and his lawyers were in contact with the U.S. attorney, I believe in Baton Rouge. And these charges from September of 2020 have been kind of hanging out there for a while. And no doubt his lawyers had communicated to the U.S. Attorney's Office, we're here, if you got charges, he'll turn himself in, that kind of thing. But in typical U.S. Marshal and federal government fashion, or fascist, they picked him up on the street in Los Angeles instead of calling his lawyer to de-escalate things. That's just how they like to do it. Sometimes when people get charged with crimes federally, the federal government likes to have it under seal so you don't know it's coming. And so they issue a warrant and they pluck you off the street or out of your bed or wherever. And they do that so that so you're caught by surprise. And then amazingly, they have a really lovely press conference. We got him. And that doesn't really work if the guy turns himself in. You can't have a splashy press conference if that happens. So that's what happened with the rapper NBA YoungBoy. Now here's the thing. He's got, this poor kid. His dad went to prison when he was young for 55 years. So his dad's out of there, not in his life. And in 2016, he got an aggravated firearms charge. So this would be his second, at least his second, if not third, federal firearms type violation. What that means is if he's got 3 prior felonies, which I don't know that he does, but because it was unclear for me doing the research whether he has 2 or 3 or exactly how many prior felonies. But if he has 3 prior violent felonies, even if they're juvenile, depending upon the timing of them, he could be looking at a mandatory minimum 15 years in prison. And if he somehow miraculously gets out on bail or other conditions, which I don't think he's going to, that really tells me a lot. That tells me he's probably cooperating, which I don't think is going to happen in this case. But in NBA YoungBoy's future, at the very least, he's looking at a 5-year mandatory minimum. And because he took off in L.A. when they tried to arrest him, he took off on foot, he very well could be looking at an extra 2 points for obstruction of justice.
Yeah.
So, and
Why you just didn't
in
stop
the federal
NBA?
system, they have
He
different
probably was scared,
enhancements
nervous.
or points that you can get
I know, bro.
for various things, like for kind of the role that you played in an offense, if you're the leader or organizer. If you have a firearm and it's not separately charged, you can get an enhancement for that. And if you take off from the cops and you create a scene where it's dangerous, which is what he did here, then you can wind up getting a 2-level enhancement for obstruction. Now, his lawyers criticized the federal government for the way they did things, and I don't blame him, because if you've hired a lawyer, and no doubt he paid them a lot of money, you know, I know I've had different prosecutors extend me the courtesy, hey, look, we're going to pick him up, so you've got 24 hours to turn himself in. But they didn't do that in this case, and I really wish Mr. Golden wouldn't have taken off, because
That's what I'm saying.
that kind of justifies why they did what they did. But in 2018, he had a weapons and kidnapping incident. In 2019, he was in a shootout in Miami. And I don't know how many or if any
All
of
these
these are
demons just in
charged.
my boy,
Were
man.
charged.
Devil
I know
on his back.
He got a 10-year suspended sentence, and the judge discharged him from that sentence in, I think, December, in order to the return of a lot of jewelry and cash. And that's probably because they couldn't tie it to any criminal activity, because he's a rapper and he's got some dough from his music. The thing I'd like to talk about, though, is the culture that, you know, this case could have been avoided. And it is exactly what I've been talking about in all of my videos, about the brazen nature of these rap videos. And I'm not sitting here preaching, okay? I don't want bad things to happen to any of these guys. But when you are not supposed to possess firearms,
Damn.
and you really shouldn't do that. The incident that happened in Baton Rouge in 2020 in September, they were shooting a video, and in the video they had all kinds of guns, and it turns out some of them were stolen. And they want to look cool, and they want to look like they're badass, and they want to look like this. But this is a 21-year-old young man. And when I say 21, 21 is young. And your frontal cortex, your brain, in the male brain, is not developed until you're about 24, 25 years old. You're impetuous. You make decisions for your future that you can't see how it's going to impact you. You don't put in the thought. And so for every young guy out there, I want you to think. I want you to think before you act. Had this guy done, and you're innocent until proven guilty, okay? We'll start right from there. So Mr. Golden, or YoungBoy, is innocent until proven guilty. Let's just say that outright. And his lawyer made the comment that he didn't possess any firearms. He never held a gun and never possessed any firearms on that particular day. Now, I haven't seen the video, and I don't think it's been released yet. But I do know that possession of a firearm can be actual or it can be constructive, and which means I can either have a gun in my pocket or it can be nearby. And it can be joint possession, where I can possess a firearm or anything with somebody, or it can be sole possession. So, and the issue for him then is whether he had access. Basically, sole possession is not necessary to prove that he was in possession of a firearm. So if they have him in any of the outtakes playing with the guns, that's possession. The other thing they need to prove is that, that they were purchased or actually manufactured across state lines. And most, Springfield Arms, that's Springfield, Ohio, that's usually, depending upon what kind of firearm, it's usually not hard to prove that they were transferred in interstate commerce. So what's really important here is I can't imagine he doesn't have a top-notch legal team. He's got to have one. And if he really wasn't in possession of any firearms and everybody around him had guns and those people had guns just for the video, he may be able to walk from this. But given the nature of his prior conduct, given the nature of everything that he's done to date, it's going to be a tough sell because those prior convictions come in and then they're factored in when they determine a sentence. And if there are any other charges, the gun charge, it's called a 924C or a 922G, it would be consecutive to whatever other underlying charges there might be. So it'll be interesting. I don't revel in the fact that this guy got picked up, that Mr. Cool. I don't at all. I'm a defense lawyer, and I don't like to see anybody spend any time in prison. But I also don't like to see young guys make mistakes, make bad decisions. And when you're in the gang culture, you got to be smart about what you do. Especially, and he even said this himself, when he got the attempted murder charges. When you're known, he says, I don't really know if they target people, but when you're known, you have it harder. In other words, you're out there. You've got all kinds of social media out there, and you're doing that for your rap career, so you kind of have to do that. But if you let your guard down and you put all this content out there that shows you doing stuff, it's self-snitching. That's what it is, self-snitching. And that's what happened in this case. They got the video, and it's self-goddamn snitching. So he's looking at least 5 years, and hopefully not any more than that. And I don't think he's going to be getting out on bond anytime soon, especially in light of the fact that he tried to flee. So that's what I know about NBA YoungBoy.
Man, I need y'all to do me a favor. I need everybody to download NBA YoungBoy, all his old shit on iTunes, so he can eat, so he can have money for us to, get him out of this situation. Cause my boy, he a good dude, bro. He just trying to, like I said, he trying to change his life around. I know he is, like the judge was saying, my boy only 21, man, I just hope my boy get his shit together, man. I hope he just beat all this. I feel like he gonna come with a fire album, cause all this that going on with him, he gonna come with a fire album. Gonna be platinum. He gonna get through this shit, man. And let's pray he can get a bond. Cause he got the money. That's what they mad about. He got all this money. But for real, man, make sure everybody download his album so he can eat, his family can eat, his kids can eat, and I'm gonna keep more update on NBA YoungBoy and free my boy, man, free NBA, free Lil Top. Peace.